I'm up early on the strip while the birds chirping. I had to turn my phone off, too many birds chirping.
The fuck's going on here?
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
BoxingVoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the
body punching? I was hitting him with body punching. I heard him actually, he was crying there.
You were saying that Biggs was crying when you hit him?
Yes.
When did that happen?
And perhaps the fourth round on.
BoxingVoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time.
Absolutely, but I knew he was tough and taking those punches.
DiBiase Productions.
Making women's gestures like, oh.
Let's go, champ.
Good morning, TBV. You already know who's back. NEST GTO. Catch me on all forms of social media. Listen, we're back, and I didn't even get any sleep. I'm talking fresh off the plane, getting this news, and it's like, yo, must be discussed. What is going on? Is it all part of the plan? Is someone ducking? What is the holdup? But now, the biggest problem and new piece of the puzzle is the WBA and the fact that they are ordering Anthony Joshua to sign for the Alexander Povetkin fight within 24 hours. 24 hours. Now, will this news be enough? Because I guess within those 24, can Wilder's team come in and submit a signed contract? Will that be enough? Will there be enough time? Or is this simply the nail in the coffin, indicating to us that Wilder fight will not happen, and instead Anthony Joshua will be made to wait to get that Deontay Wilder fight after he takes care of his WBA mandatory title defense against Alexander Povetkin, which now the WBA president has officially came out on his Instagram and obviously throughout all forms of different publications, saying that they have 24 hours to get a signature. And if you're Joshua, do you really want to let one of these titles go, or do you go snag that $20 million with Povetkin? Now, the WBA president is Gilberto Mendoza, as you guys know. We rarely see him, but whenever we do read about him, it never really makes any sense. I mean, these parties are in negotiations for a big fight. Povetkin, you know, he has a history, and I'm definitely not one of those guys that, you know, guilty once, guilty always. But what has he done? You know, like David Price, like he deserves this fight more than Wilder because he beat David Price. Or we should be okay with this mandated order from Gilberto Mendoza because Alexander beat David Price. Like, it makes no sense, you know. What I do kind of like is that it can light a fire on the Finkel, Heyman, Wilder side. Can we get a signed contract today now that we have this news? We posted this on our Instagram. Shout out to Rob in the UK. And I mean, it's crazy. Some of the comments. People are saying that Eddie, in the comment section, right? People are saying that Eddie contacted the WBA to have the pressure put on. People are claiming, you know, this is all part of the plan. People are claiming Wilder lost his pen. I don't even know what to think at this point. I can't believe that these negotiations are drawing out. But revisionist history, man, when you think back of all the big fights, that's what happens, right? Negotiations draw out, and we're never happy the way things go. We don't get it exactly when we want. So it really does suck. But according to Sky Sports and Adam, I believe it's Smith, right? Adam Smith, the WBC champion Wilder has yet to return a contract for obviously what is being called the biggest unification fight in the heavyweight division in quite some time. And the WBA have grown impatient with the drawn out negotiations, ordering the British star to instead fulfill his title obligations to face Povetkin. And that's what I don't get. It's like, how could the WBA be getting tired? Like, don't they realize the magnitude of this fight and, the fact that it probably is going to take a little bit of time to iron out all the kinks? I mean, it seems like these people are spot on, Eddie sent the contract. Seems like Finkel went over some things and needed some things revised and sent it back, and Eddie revised it and sent it back. So I think that they're working. I don't know why everyone is being so negative. I mean, they're going back and forth. Is it at lightning speed? No, but I think that they're going back and forth. I think that right now what's going on is that we get a little bit too much information. We're given just a little bit too much right now. It's like, look, WBA just said 24 hours and we all know, we're going to be counting down the hours with the WBA. And I think that is going to be good pressure for this fight, good pressure, but I can't help but have to say that, back when Joshua was asked about this fight, he said he wasn't ready for the Wilder fights of 2019, 2020. And I flipped out. But man, here we go. We're definitely looking like this is going to happen in 2019. I mean, if he faces Povetkin next, there's no way we get that fight this year. I doubt they do it in December. They can't maximize on the economics in December. I'm sure they'll be looking for an open stadium. So if Povetkin slides in, and I quote, the WBA have allowed over a month extension to negotiate with Povetkin and also ongoing discussions with Wilder. So according to the WBA, they feel that they have been more than generous by giving Anthony Joshua, the unified champion, over 30 days. Over 30 days to negotiate 2 fights. I don't know. WBA looks like they just want to be in the news, I think. Because over 30 days to negotiate 2 fights is ridiculous, especially when one of them is a unification bout. You know what I mean? And I quote, it appears Wilder's team have not returned the contract for the fight, and therefore we are requesting a date for the Joshua versus Povetkin fight with immediate effect, end quote. These are Gilberto Mendoza's quotes. And this is all today. He said, and I quote, today the WBA requested an answer from Anthony Joshua's team regarding his fight with mandatory challenger Alexander Povetkin. So, yeah, that is where we are. Again, I'm not upset. I'm going to take this as, lighting that fire under Team Wilder. Hopefully, Finkel wakes up. We're East Coast time here. It's 8 a.m. on the East Coast, 5:19 on the West, and I believe it's 7:19 in Central. So Finkel and a few others still sleep. You know, it's only 7 o'clock in Alabama. You know, they'll receive this news the way that we received it. And I'm sure they will jump to it is really all I can say, and hope. It's really all I can say, and hope that they do. Hope that Team Wilder takes to Instagram or some sort of social media platform and say, hey, we signed that. We signed the second contract a week ago, you know, or we signed it today and we sent it Federal Express. We faxed it over to Eddie. But something needs to be done, because I don't know. I'm starting to not like what I'm hearing, seeing, reading. I'm not really liking it.
Yo, I'm about to catch this plane in a few minutes, but Anthony, get over with your man Eddie and Barry Hearn and tell them to check their email. I got something special for you. And by the way, all the money's in the bag. So I expect you'll be a man of your word.
Okay. I'll take 50 million up front. If that's the case, Wilder's team, bring me 50 million up front and we'll take the fight.
I'll see you soon then.
Did you see the comments from Deontay Wilder yesterday?
No, what, on the Boxing Voice?
Yes.
It's like he goes on this little channel. That's about all the media he can do these days on the Boxing Voice. I mean,
deal with this behind closed doors, because a lot of negotiations can go on over social media and YouTube channels and stuff. But
Wilder, let's go, baby! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Just a few little quotes to just remind everybody where we're at with this, man. I'm going to go ahead and open up these phone lines. I'm going to go out to our sponsors, man. Shout out to El Camino. We were actually having a meeting with El Camino in Las Vegas, and that's why we did not have our Sunday show, but congratulations to Clarissa Shields. We will be reviewing that. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're coming down real close to 76,000, which, you know, I'm very proud. And I'm sure everybody here at TBV is proud of. So don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, because, yeah, we're working. We're working, and you want to receive those notification emails letting you know that we're live. We have a lot of stuff to cover. There's going to be a lot of reports coming out. So don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Going out to the UK, Nikki, what's up?
How we doing?
All good, brother. How are you, man?
Oh, very good, brother. I'm glad you done me first. I'm very busy today. Listen, a lot of things to say. Wilder, you got to admit this. I know you like Wilder. You got to admit though, his brother, he should have done this quickly, man. You know what I mean? And it has been stalling it a bit. Don't you think?
I mean, pure speculation, Your Honor.
Brother, I think he's stalling, man. He should have just done it. You know what I mean? And got on with it. Biggest payday. They're just messing around. You know when Eddie went to New York and they cancelled the meeting and all that. They should have seriously done it from then. We've got Lou DiBiase coming out saying we're not like Eddie Hearn. We don't do business over.
Buami, what up, player? Mute yourself, or we gotta eject you. Thank you. Go ahead, Nicky.
Hello. Yeah. Remember Lou DiBiase saying we don't do things over social media and that. And then you got Wilder on YouTube.
You mean Eddie? You mean Eddie said that?
Yeah, Lou DiBiase said that as well.
Oh, because Eddie said it. Remember? Look.
Did you see the comments from Deontay Wilder yesterday?
No, what, on the Boxing Voice?
Yes.
It's like he goes on this little channel. That's about all the media he can do these days on the Boxing Voice. I mean,
deal with this behind closed doors, because a lot of negotiations can go on over social media and YouTube channels and stuff. But
I don't know. I mean, sounds like.
Yes. Are you going to come down if this fight's in the UK?
I would love to, brother. I will
Brother,
be there
come
for
down.
sure.
You're welcome to stay at mine. You're welcome to stay here, brother. I'll show you all the love, bro.
Oh, man. Well, thanks, Nick. Thank you, brother. Let me get out to some other calls. We're going to go out to Buami right here on Skype. Buami, what's up? Where you calling in from? Buami, where you calling in from?
Yeah, yeah.
Buami? All right, well, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move on. He's obviously can't talk. Maybe he's at work and can't let it out. So we're going to head on out to what looks like Baltimore, 443-942. Could this be Troy in the morning?
Big up yourself, man. Be most finest. Yes, to answer your question is Troy.
Troy, how are you? Good
how you
morning,
doing? How you
first and
doing?
foremost. Good morning. How are you,
Good.
man?
Oh, I'm great. Big up yourself and good morning to you. You know, in a situation like this, all you have to do is, or all you have to go on is you follow the facts. You don't, there's really no need for speculation. Just follow the facts. You take the fact that you got two fighters, right? One is 10 years deep in his career, and I'm not going to say the name so you can figure it out. One is 10 years deep in his career. You know, his toughest fight, or two toughest fights, was against, one was against when he fought for the title, and the other one was against a 40-plus-year-old contender, right? Move on to the other fighter. He's 5 years deep in his career. He's fought the top contenders. He's fought the champions. He's been through all the business side of it, where he was
Troy,
the A or B or whatever.
Troy, I love your bias. I love your bias. I see how you said he fought a 40.
I'm not being biased. I'm saying follow the facts.
Let me point it out. I'm gonna follow some facts that you just spit. Your facts were he fought a 40-year-old contender, but then when you spoke of Joshua,
40 plus.
Yeah, 40 plus. But when you spoke of Joshua, you chose to say he fought all the top contenders and champions. When you're forgetting that he faced a 40-plus-year-old loser coming off an 18 months layoff. Did Tyson?
Okay,
wait a minute, Troy. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. In a competition, there could only be one winner and one what? One winner, one
loser,
what?
correct. Right,
okay.
Right.
Okay. So when Tyson beat Vladimir Klitschko, what was Tyson?
Mm-hmm. Well, Tyson was the victor, and Klitschko was the loser. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So what's the difference? Yeah. Why'd you choose to phrase that differently when both are plus 40, and both and mind you, Lewis was actually active, where Vladimir was 18 months out.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm just correcting you there.
Okay. I don't know why you pointed that out, because everybody went, okay. But as I was stating to you, you can't really compare Ortiz to Klitschko, and here's why. Ortiz has never fought the same level of competition as Klitschko. He's never fought for a championship or anything. Klitschko, love him or like him, he's had a career which will put him into the Hall of Fame. He's had a career where you could point out, okay, very few fighters have done this or that. Ortiz has not done those things, and that's why you can point the differences out. But but the conversation here is not about Ortiz or Klitschko. It's just about following the facts. As I was stating about Joshua, he's been this A-side, B-side nonsense when it comes to contracts, right? Right? Hello?
I'm not understanding what you're asking me. He's been what? The A-side? He's been the A-side.
He's been the B-side, you know, where he had to take shorts and the fights. Okay, when he was fighting Klitschko, he was the B-side because he was the young boy. He took his shorts, and the contract was still signed. Parker's team
excuse me. There was no B-side in the Klitschko because it was 50-50.
That's not true.
It was 50-50.
No.
Oh, it wasn't?
Klitschko was the bigger name. Klitschko was the bigger name.
Klitschko was the bigger name. That's why it was held in Joshua's home country. Come on, man. Sharpen up, Troy. Sharpen up.
Good.
Sharpen up.
You don't have to tell me to sharpen up. I'm the one that studies history. I'm the one that knows the sport. I'm not being offensive to you, but don't tell me to sharpen up, brother. You know, don't do that.
Early in the morning.
He said, "Don't tell me I gotta go back in the cupboard and get sharpened."
No, we're dealing with so many emotional people on this show.
Don't you dare say that again.
Who's emotional, brother? I'm pointing out facts to you. Hey, I'm simply pointing out facts to you. Facts are facts, man.
How is that a fact?
Hey, check it. Can I say something? People,
I wanted to properly introduce
yes,
you.
Yes, sir. Say it.
I wanted to give you the intro, but go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, when you're comparing like Ortiz to Klitschko and these fighters, a lot of people always, you know, and it's obvious, right? You got to bring up the people they face, but you got to understand that these fighters have been brought along by different promotions, different managers. So it's like when you just compare the fighters based off just the people they face and not just as also comparing them as fighters themselves, you know.
What else are you supposed to compare them to, brother?
That's what I'm saying. It's obvious that you got to compare him to his resume.
They fought, correct?
Exactly. But what I'm saying is don't forget that, you know, there's a saying that goes, styles makes fights, and there's different type of fighters.
Right.
And when you put these guys together, you know, something could happen that wouldn't be the norm. So, you know,
all I know is that the favorite AJ Protector line is who has he faced, or he hasn't faced the competition. Like I can't believe we're still talking about who these guys have faced.
We're not talking
and not why they're not facing.
We're not talking
other.
about that. I'm simply okay. I'm not trying to overtalk you, so I'm just gonna be. But listen, we're not talking about who's. We're not focusing on that. I'm simply saying follow the facts. The facts are when it comes to signing contracts and making things happen to make your career move on. Joshua has done those things. From Wilder's side, he has not done those things.
Troy,
he had his opportunity to fight Klitschko. He did not fight him. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Troy, when you're the A
yes,
side,
yes,
when you're the A side, you're navigated as such, bro. You want me to go down numerous A sides careers? That's the way it works. Bro.
How do you get to be the A side, sir? How do you get to be this A side? How do you get to be the A side?
By having a public, by having a demanding audience.
How do you get a public, man? Stop just beating around the bush. How do you get a public? Victories over people that are meaningful.
No, excuse me. No, you're incorrect. You're incorrect. So wait a minute. Who did Canelo beat when he came to HBO with an already fucking signed contract with Televisa and a country behind him? No one. Who did Joshua beat when he got out of the Olympics with a gold medal? No one.
Out of the Olympics?
Exactly.
No one beats anyone when they get out of the Olympics.
That is true.
No, that's my point. I'm trying to show him that these people started with fan bases. Joshua's fan base comes from the Olympic background, and Canelo's come from being Mexican and being on Televisa from the very beginning. Oscars, same thing, gold medal. Floyd, same thing, silver medal. Shakur Stevenson, same thing, silver medal. Lomachenko, gold medal. Like, don't give me that bullshit. Fan bases come from that, Troy. Troy, you know what? I always give you a lot of time, but we got other. You know, I get back to you. I stay giving you mad love. I hope you call one of these days talking about your Patreon, because I stay giving you like triple time fucking love call.
He got the knowledge.
No, he actually doesn't. He be incorrect shit. He knows he's an AJ Protector.
You know what it is? AJ, look, bronze bomber medaled up too. You know what I mean? But it's just that he's had that prestige. You know, he was a gold medalist, right? That's
more difficult for an American. Think about Andre Ward. He had a gold medal, and he's going to go down in history as 170,000 pay-per-view tickets seller. That's it. Not tickets, but 170,000 pay-per-views. Versus Kovalev, who Kovalev and Ward are essentially Joshua and Wilder. You know what I'm saying? In their respective divisions. Obviously, heavyweight division is the more glorified division.
Now, I'm coming into this a little late. Yeah, good morning, everyone. This is Alex, Doomsday Linus. And it says, Joshua was signed for Povetkin within 24 hours. Joshua.
So here's the facts, right? I mean, obviously, we can even play a little audio, because what's going on is
surprise, because the WBA have mandated Alexander Povetkin. I mean, he's got into that position. You know, remember, he's only ever lost once to Vladimir Klitschko, the former Olympic gold medalist, of course, Povetkin. We saw him recently on the Parker night, dispatch David.
You know, it's hilarious. I just want to pause it there. He's like, oh, he's only lost once to Vladimir Klitschko. And it's like, all right, but what's he been doing in between that? Popping left and right and fighting the David Prices of the world. Like, I'm not even going to say Wilder or Joshua, what they would do to David Price. We'll talk about guys like Chisora, Dillian White, you know, Andy Ruiz, what they would do to David Price, what Tony Thompson, 44-plus-year-old Tony Thompson did to David Price. Like, the fact that people are getting behind this whole 24-hour time limit, it scares me, because as fight fans, what is it that you want? Do you not want the best facing the best, or do you want punishments handed down like, oh, he didn't sign, so fuck it, he lost his chance, ha ha, he didn't take the biggest payday, ha ha. Like, do we not want this fight?
That shit don't do nothing for the crowd.
It obviously does. People are calling in, and their comments are more about the resume and time limits instead of matchups. You know,
I'm starting to
jab, all those things.
I'm starting to wonder if they're just doing all these antics because they really just don't want the fight to happen this year. They want it to happen next year.
I mean, listen, Joshua's original statement was 2019, 2020 is when he said he would be ready for Wilder. But back to the tape.
Price. So he's earned his place, and there's no secret that talks have been going on.
Just want to stop it again, Doomy. He's earned this place, says my man Adam Smith. Scott, one of the two, he's cool peoples, right? But the point is, he says he's earned this place. So in your opinion, David Price earns you a shot at Anthony Joshua more than the fact that he and Wilder can unify and have a undisputed champion, not a unified champion, an undisputed champion.
It's another fight, but obviously not the fight that we want to see, and that's what seems to be the problem. They've sort of kind of over marinated this shit already, and you know, just the back and forth antics on the social media, and he said this, he say that. Like, what? Whose fault is it for not signing now? Are they throwing it on Wilder's lap now? It's your fault.
It's definitely Wilder's fault for not signing, because there were some revisions that needed to be made according to Shelly Finkel.
But didn't Shelly make those revisions? I mean,
well, he sent the email, and obviously Eddie sent the new contract that's yet to be signed.
Okay.
All right, back to
you know what? I'm just trying to wonder to see like who's really trying to make this fight. I mean, who's getting in the way of this fight? It's definitely not
right
Josh.
Now, I think it's the WBA. Let's as mature men try to focus you and I, because we can't handle the rest of the world. But I think that I can take care of Nestor, and for me, I'm going to focus my energy on the WBA, because the WBA is the one mandating this 24-hour deadline for a signature to make a fight with irrelevant Alexander Povetkin. And I say irrelevant in the most respectful way, because what I mean by that is right now the fight of relevance is the undisputed unification match that is out there, looming. The one that we are pronounce that for me?
Salad.
Yes. Like, don't talk to me about Povetkin, but back to the tape.
And if this Povetkin fight does happen, when are they supposed to fight? No.
Well, they'll be fighting, as Eddie has already said, sometime late September. And obviously the pressure for the Wilder fight will be off. It will look like Wilder ducked by not signing. So they could really push it for whatever makes best sense, and then do Wilder next year.
Between the Joshua camp and the Povetkin camp, as well as the Joshua and the Wilder camps. The WBA now have, and I have the letter in front of me. I mean, they had a negotiation period of 30 days, beginning on April the 5th, closing on May the 5th. That was the first thing. They asked for an extension to that negotiation period, obviously because of the Joshua Wilder fight that we hope will happen. On June the 6th, they received a new extension request. for 2 tentative dates in September. And as of this date, June the 25th, as of yesterday, we still have no evidence of an agreement. So they are now saying they want the contracts duly signed in the next 24 hours. They've run out of patience. And the one thing that...
And here's my thing. Like, WBA is like, they run out of patience. You know? It's so many other sanctioning bodies involved in the unification, especially an undisputed one. And they're the ones, you know, in the media handing out deadlines. And what's funny to me is that they've only given them over 30 days of extension. That's pretty common. It's not like we've been negotiating with Alexander Povetkin for 90 days or 120 days. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just isn't really good. But let's get back to these phone lines. I don't know, Doomy, you've had a little bit of time, or I guess we'll let you hear some of the takes from the callers and get back to you.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Now I'm reading what some of the things that are being said on the chat, and some people make a couple of good points, but I'm gonna say that look, it says Doomy, mate, no one is in the way, but people on Wilder's side are a little incompetent. Simple as that. I mean, who's incompetent?
How incompetent are they when they caught 2 errors in the contract that needed to be revised, and Eddie right away was like, yeah.
Where's the AJ protectors when Eddie was pulling this shit? When he was the one saying that, AJ might be wearing pink trunks, so we got to go over it. We got to see the contract. I mean, look, this is looking like a hot potato battle, and they're just throwing it back and forth.
Until time runs out. The hot potato's about to explode. It's a ticking time bomb is what it is. Eddie's throwing it back and forth, shoving the blame. No, you did it. Shelly says, no, you did it. Eddie says, no, you did it. Shelly says, no, you did it, until this happens. We run out of time, and the excuse is we have to do this in order for it to be a unification. We can't let him lose a belt. Shout out to Hassan, who says, to help Eddie Hearn pay Povetkin to step aside. So damn, he's donating a super chat to Eddie Hearn to pay Povetkin step aside money, the way that Deontay Wilder paid Bermain Stavern step aside money so that he could fight Luis Ortiz. Remember, Deontay gave Bermain $600,000. Let's go out to our co-host in the UK on the beat.
DiBiase Productions.
BJ was gonna beat me, didn't you? You predict he's gonna beat me. He got smashed.
Why isn't Wilder sold out 90,000? This guy has been pro for like 8 years, 9 years. If Wilder wants some of his work, you can definitely get it on ASAP.
BoxingVoice.com.
How you doing, Nez?
What's up, brother?
All right, do me, yeah, all good.
Robbie, what up, brother?
Nikki, mute yourself, Nikki, or I gotta eject you.
Yeah, it's 0792.
He's giving out his mobile number.
0752.
Go for it, Rob.
There we go. Yeah, it's just a bit convenient for both sets of fans, I think, because I've seen it all today already in the tweets before I sent you the link, Nez. People saying, oh, that's convenient. Eddie Hearn's rung the WBA and say, oh, Finkel's going to send the contract back Friday. Quick, make it mandatory that we've got to face Povetkin because we're ducking. And I see the AJ side of it saying, Wilder needs to find his pen. I mean, we heard yesterday that Finkel said the contract is coming back on Friday with a couple of notes on it. So it's like, we'll sign it, but there's still things to talk about. And this whole thing's just dragging out, and people, I think, are going to just lose interest. I guess we're going to see this early next year. But unless, like you said, that 24-hour deadline can come and they can agree something very quickly, I think Joshua Wilder, people are going to get a little break from it from now. But I just don't see, Wilder's wanted this fight for so long, and now he's got a contract in hand. He accepted the terms of that deal that was laid out, and now a contract's gone over, and is sat there waiting to be signed. But
so Rob,
for me,
Rob, when you and your wife bought that nice flat that you're paying for, Did you not have a mortgage attorney go over your contract? Did you just sign it right away?
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but I don't know when terms are set, if it's purely just money or other things are mentioned in terms. But they were agreed. I know Shelley came back and said just a couple of things, and then, like you say, Eddie came back to him and he put a tweet out to a fan answering that the Winkle has been satisfied. So those issues were obviously addressed. And then there's obviously something in this. I mean, apparently Finkel was saying there's not a date and venue set in the contract yet, but I think it was Dan Rayfield's tweet. It's kind of not normal, but they will both. Joshua would sign his part. Wilder would sign his part.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? When Wilder sent his offer and Hearn said, "We don't have a date and venue. How could we accept 50 million without a date and venue?" Anthony Joshua is signed to Sky Sports. We need a date and venue. Now all of a sudden, when Finkel asks for a date and venue, that's odd, huh?
No, I'm not saying it's odd. I'm saying in Dan Rayfield's thing, he said sometimes it is kind of normal, but they would both sign their parts of the agreement and on the contract, and then the date and the venue will be set. But yeah, I'm not picking sides on it as far as that part, because look, this has just gone round and round and round. For me personally, as much as I wanted the fight, I'm kind of glad there might be a little bit of an end to it all for just the time being, because I don't know, it's been draining. It's really been draining. Just
you say tomato, I say tomato, because he says a bit of an end, and I say, you know, they're just giving the guy another day, you know, another payday before the big curtain is pulled.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I saw people in the chat saying, why doesn't he just vacate the belt? And someone said, why do that? He said, just so we can make the biggest fight possible. But surely the biggest fight possible is an undisputed heavyweight world title fight. So,
well, I mean, I don't know. Last I checked, McGregor versus Floyd didn't have a belt, and neither did Pacquiao versus Floyd, right? Or belts didn't matter. They didn't have all the divisional belts, all the sanctioning fee belts.
No,
or sanctioning bodies is the proper word.
Maybe, but to me as a fan, I'd like my guy to be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. You know, we haven't seen it in such a long time. But I don't know. It's just drawn out so long, and it's just been.
I mean, as an AJ fan, it does fit your argument. Hey, he's got to do his mandatory.
Well, if it's been, you know, this what's his name, Mendoza, you know, it used to be, people used to say, oh, the WBA don't enforce their mandatories, but they don't. Late, haven't they?
They don't. Why is Mendoza not giving Thurman 24 hours? Because this motherfucker's in someone's pocket. That's why. If you can't see that, there is no such thing as lately, Rob. If you can't see, let me explain it to you, because Troy likes to use the word facts, right? So if you can't see that this guy's in someone's pocket, you are blind, all right? Thurman is the WBA champion. He's never been mandated to do anything, okay?
But
now, hold on a minute. I'm not done. The WBA for 2 years now has, quote unquote, been cleaning up and trying to condense their sanctioning body into less belts. Remember, Daniel Jacobs was the WBA regular and Gennady was the super, and they mandated that because that was a big fight and they could get a big sanctioning fee. So they made Danny Jacobs fight Gennady Golovkin, right? They made that happen, and they were supposed to get rid of Daniel Jacobs' belt, but now it's still out there. The WBA is the worst. That motherfucker ain't shit. I've been saying on this show, I can't wait to see him. He ducking me. He know I'm going to get him on camera, and he going to be fucking fumbling his words. That is the worst sanctioning body I've ever seen. What the fuck do they do? Then they said they started their own VADA shit. We haven't heard nothing from that. Like,
what the hell does that even mean?
Bro, yo, someone tell me these guys only mandate the big fight. The big fight. Like, oh, we could get some money off that. Yeah. Come on, bro. Like, what other WBA super champion is being mandated to fight a mandatory? Nobody.
Maybe
AJ's been they've been no, and let me be clear, because I don't want anyone to think that this is coming because of the Wilder fight. Because remember, you could go hear me on this podcast saying, you know, that they was forcing AJ to fight Lewis at once upon a time, and I'm like, yo, this is bullshit. AJ's the super champion. You're not supposed to do him. Floyd never got a WBA mandatory. Go check the fucking history books. Floyd never was mandated to do nothing. Nothing. Cotto, never. They didn't fucking make Austin Trout mandatory to Cotto. They didn't do that.
They're taking advantage of the huge fight, man.
Go on, do me. Go on.
No, I'm just
taking advantage of the huge fight. That's what they want. They want their peace.
Yeah, they want their peace.
That's the same thing. Why you think WBC was saying, oh, Canelo better face Gennady Golovkin. Oh, excuse me, Gennady better take Canelo's offer, or he's gonna have to face Jamal Charlo. Because they pushing it. They're like, nah, man, you gotta face Canelo. That's the bigger check for me. They ain't stupid. Everybody want a piece.
I mean, let's take a look at the fights. Go ahead, Robbie.
Just talk. Cool.
I'd say let's take a look at the fights that's been made in the last couple of years, right? The real big fights, the Canelo Triple G, the Mayweather Pacquiao, and let's run a comparison on these contract negotiations. Like, did we see these things happening in these other big fights? You know what I mean?
Not with the WBA.
Did we really have to sit here and
WBA didn't get involved in Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo Alvarez?
Like, for the most part, like, let's say the Floyd and Pacquiao fight, you know, yeah, we waited a long time and all that, but we didn't go through this emotional roller coaster that they're putting the fans through. You know what I mean? And it's such a short amount of time. I mean, that fight took forever to make, and this one, it's not like it's been wanted for a while, but it hasn't really been negotiating and talked about for so long, and it's just like back and forth, man.
Look at this guy, Troy. Get the wax out your ears. Now the WBC ain't shit. I never said
WBA, Troy.
I mean, these guys, bro, they hear what they want. It's called selective hearing, Troy. Bias ass.
Troy wants some more rounds. He's ready to come back.
Go ahead, Robbie.
No, I was going to say, wasn't there something?
Nikki, what the fuck, Nikki? You cannot be with your mic open.
Well, was I going to say there was something with Rigo in the WBA, wasn't there? Like, they've seemed to started to sort of selectively choose who, you know, who's getting a pass and who isn't. I don't know, but I don't know.
What a fuck?
Let's go. What the fuck? But yeah, no. Obviously, it's looking like Povetkin, obviously, and Wilder sometime early next year. So, here's what it is. But as far as having to read all the latest on it, I'm happy just to have a little break from all this. But I don't know if you want to check the pre-pro Nez. There's a little clip there of Eddie Hearn responding to all this, saying how like frustrating it has been working with, sort of trying to work with Wilder's team. But yeah, everybody hit the thumbs up, and I'll catch you later.
Robbie Bob.
Of course, for Eddie, he's gonna paint it out to be a saga. It's frustrating. It's frustrating because it's the hardest fight. It's the hardest fight on AJ's fucking resume, and you know you don't want to make it. So yeah, it's frustrating. You're gonna say whatever you want to prolong this shit. Let's go out to my good friend Marcus in DC.
What's good, TBV in the morning? My brothers over the pond. Listen up, man. Go back and check the resume of what I said. You think Eddie Hearn understands what is going on here? That this is his cash cow. This is the only cash cow he has. He knows that AJ is vulnerable. Just come out and say it, man. Listen, say, hey, we're going to do 2 more fights, and then we're going to go with Wilder fight to make it the biggest fight or whatever it is. We all know what it is. Why would you put your fighter in this situation this early in his career? He just really getting over Klitschko last April. You know what I'm saying? And show all his vulnerabilities there. So what makes them think that they really are pushing to fight Wilder? They not. All the extra hoops that they have been going through and saying was the initial stuff, like when Canelo was talking about when Golden Boy was telling them if they had to do the Golovkin fight right now, it'd be not. We were offered 90-10 split, all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, what makes anybody think this is any different? We understand that when the champion wants to fight, he can fight, plain and simple. So Eddie Hearn does not. Eddie Hearn works for Joshua. Joshua don't work for Eddie Hearn. A lot of times you can fake and get behind people and try to act like that's what's happening. But Eddie Hearn worked for Joshua. So Joshua said, hey, man, make the Wilder fight happen. Let's get past all this minutia and let's get this fight signed. Then the fight will be done. The Wilder, see, every time you hear Wilder talking about what's going on his side, he the one in the front saying, yeah, man, I want this fight. I'm signing it. Let everybody know I'm signing it. Hey, man, I got the $50 million. Hey, I got this and this and this and this. It's not Shelly Finkel and all them in the front. You hear about them, but they're ancillary purposes. But you keep hearing Hearn, we not hearing from Joshua. You know what I'm saying? Joshua don't want the fight. I don't know why the people who like AJ don't understand that. You can still think you can win a fight and not want the fight right now. That doesn't mean because you don't want the fight right now, you don't think you can win the fight.
Yeah, I can't even argue with that.
Financially speaking,
he has been more vocal.
Financially speaking, huh?
Yeah, I can't even argue with you. AJ has been a lot less vocal on wanting the fight than Wilder. Wilder's the guy that's out there in public and really
he got caught out there anyway. Because when he got vocal, that's where the $50 million came from, and then he got his ass put out there.
And then he got the bag handed to him, and then he got quiet because apparently he thought that wasn't going to occur. You see what I'm saying? So here it is again. It was just like, it's things like, okay,
No,
remember when Mayweather offered Pac the $40 million?
Marcus, you know why he didn't believe that $50 million was there? Because he believes, just like these other fans, he believes everything his promoter says, and his promoter told him it wasn't a $100 million fight. So he put his ass out there and said, "Give me 50, give me 50, I'll take it."
Yeah, exactly. And it was the same thing as them saying, Pacquiao, take this $40 million, it's the most you ever made. Come on, we know that big fights aren't negotiated like that. So anytime when somebody throws something out there, they're saying is, hey, I want to look like I'm being genuine, but reality I'm being disingenuous because their schedule, they already told you their schedule. Their schedule is next spring around the same time when Wembley's over. We already had this discussion. They want to do it in Wembley to maximize capital. We already know that they're going to need 4 months to promote this at minimum. They really going to say 6 months. We already had this conversation that the only other thing they could do is do Cardiff with clothes, but are they willing to lose that 16,000 people, 16,000 additional people that they can get in Wembley in revenue? When you start seeing people maximizing any pension, the n-tenth of the dollar, what it means is they're saying, man, this could be the last one. This might be the last one. You understand what I'm saying? Because listen, if Carlos Takam or one of these other dudes had put the bag up and said, yeah, come on, AJ, that AJ thought he could beat, he wouldn't give a fuck if he fought him in the 02 because he'd be like, this not my last payday. But when you think like this is my last payday,
that's exactly,
you start saying biggest venue, most money, this and this and this, because you never know, because you know in your mind, man, if that boy straight that thing, if he ram that shit down the middle, you know what it's going to be. Good night.
Doggy, this is exactly why they taking that Povetkin fight, because they know it doesn't hinder the Wilder fight. If Povetkin was a real threat, they wouldn't be taking this fight. They'll drop the belt.
They wouldn't take the fight.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
That's right.
Let me tell you. Look, let me tell you. Prime example. Nobody thinks Gennadi's a duck, but when he was made to face a true contender as a mandatory in Sergey Derevchenko, he dropped that motherfucking belt because there is a slight possibility he could lose that fight and fuck up his rematch with Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo Alvarez,
he
knows Derevchenko. That's why he didn't listen. That's why he didn't take it as. That's why he didn't take it as Stain of Honor, and that's okay. It's okay to say, "Hey, man, Derevchenko is a young dude I know what type of system he's coming out of. I know what type of drive he has. This is not a dude I can just replace in 2 weeks and fight him. This is somebody that maybe 2 years ago I would have done that, but I can't do that right now. I'm 36, and that's okay too. You see what I'm saying? And it's okay for AJ to say, "Hey, man, Wilder might be a career defining." Riddick Bowe versus Holyfield first time, I might not get back like I'm supposed to get back. I might leave this fight not the same fighter. So let me make sure that I'm getting in Wembley in April. Let me make sure I'm getting all dazzling money lined up. Let me make sure I'm getting Sky Sports. Let me make sure I'm getting being lined up. Let me make sure I'm getting everything lined up before I take this dude on.
Marcus,
That's what they doing. And anybody who can't see it, I don't understand it.
Nah, they see it, brother. They just acting. I said, let me get to some other people, and I said they see it. They just acting blind. Let's get out to my good friend and alumni of the show, King Amin.
Just like the king is what I mean. The king is what I mean. My man, get a cup and put some change inside your hand. Now hold up. Let's make this official. Everybody that's agreeing.
I mean, it was good.
He dropped off. 256-225. Talk to me. First time caller.
What's going on, y'all? Huh?
First time caller. Who's this?
No, this is Ed, man, in Alabama, homeboy.
Oh, what's up, Ed?
Hey, nothing much, man. Hey, just to echo those thoughts that you were talking about the WBA being trash, man. All of a sudden they want to enforce some, but last time I checked, the dude that they got as a mandatory been popped twice for steroids from the WBC, which they used as a rationale to drop Ortiz out of that same position. So this is all stupid. It's a joke. The money's flowing. I don't know. Yeah, maybe this fight will happen. I don't know if Eddie Hearn is going to be able to work something out where this doesn't happen in Russia. But like everybody said, it's clearly obvious. We just been wasting our time the last few months talking about Wilder next. It never was going to happen. It's going to be in February or some other time next year. And hopefully, when that does happen, hopefully AJ isn't too nicked up and they ain't got a bunch of excuses. But like I said, the heavyweight division, man, it's volatile. You got some big boys in there. These guys mess around, get hurt, or some delays this situation. It's just silly. And like I said, it's clearly obvious at this point where, like, I don't even really, I want to see the fight, but it's like, I don't care if it happens anytime soon. Wilder needs to just go ahead and start fighting some other guys. He's been sitting around, they're trying to stall him out. So it's just time to move on. Let's get some of these other guys in the ring and let's get this stuff over with. That's my call, man.
All right, man, I feel the same way, Doomy. I said that, bro. Wilder needs to go on like a 4-fight a year, at least this year. Get 4 in. Just clean out the rankings, bro. Leave
no doubt.
No, forget doubt. Yo, you leave no stone unturned. This way, there's nowhere else for AJ to run to and make another fake fight. Like, if you would have took care of Povetkin, there's no Povetkin. You take care of Dillian White, there's no Dillian White rematch. You know what I'm saying? You get rid of these guys so there is no opportunity for them.
I think promotionally, it's still these guys are geniuses because at the same time, in the negotiations that they're having, they're still garnering a lot of attention. And let's say that they don't fight each other next. They're going to be fighting whoever they're mandated to fight or whatnot. They're still going to garner so much attention because people still want to see this damn fight so damn much that they're going to go ahead and tune into those fights anyway. So it's like, kudos to the promotional team and the management for, all your savviness and stuff. But there is a lot of fans out there who are literally saying like, man, just get on with it and go fucking fight someone else. We just want to see you motherfuckers fight already.
Yeah, because they're keeping us stalled. Listen, if you guys want more callers, hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. Lets us know that you like the content around here. Plus, look, it's a great way to support the show. All right, so hit that thumbs up button. I'm gonna go ahead and press it to a 101 because we got a bunch of people watching, so we should definitely have more.
I definitely got to get ready though, Ness.
You got a big day. Doomy's going up for citizenship, so wish him the best. Doomy, take it easy. Final thought us out. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up on your way out as well.
Most definitely. Well, my final thoughts on this is just let's get it. Let's get her done. You know what I'm saying? Let's get her done.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's stop with all the the small detail nonsense and going back and forth and all that shit. The fights want to see you guys fight. Just let us know. Let us know. Is it happening in 2018 or should we just forget about this and just look forward to you guys fighting some other guys for this year, and then we can look forward to 2019. But stop with the carrot in the face. We're tired of it. Let us know what the hell's going on. Finalized. Let's get this fight done. And my name's Alex Doomsday Linez. You can catch me on IG, Alex_Doomsday_LAINEZ, on Facebook, Alexander Linez. And don't forget to check us out on Patreon. Get all that good exclusive footage, interviews, If you haven't heard about the Border War series, you can look that on there too. You can catch us fucking punching each other in the face. And to all of you guys wishing me luck, thank you, bro. All my guys internationally, London, all that. I'll be visiting you guys soon. Bless.
All right, do me on the way out. We're gonna head on out to the Skype. We got Idris on the check-in in the UK. Idris, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? I'm a bit pissed off that Shelly Finkel on bloody Wilder's team, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah. You lot keep talking about making up all of these conspiracies and that, but we gotta look at the facts. What are the facts? All right, the WBA said 24 hours. Who are you gonna blame for that? AJ?
No, blame the WBA.
Yeah, exactly. So right now the ball's in Finkel's hands and Wilder. Like,
but Eddie, I mean, Idris, slow down. If you want me to blame AJ, I can, because remember when the world wanted Wilder to face Luis Ortiz, but he had to fight Bermain, and it was going to be a rematch. No one wanted it, so what'd he do? He gave him $600,000 to step aside. The world wants to see Wilder Joshua. Give Povetkin step aside money.
Listen, that's done right now.
That's dumb. That's dumb. But when Wilder had to do it, it wasn't dumb. I mean, you guys are hypocrites, man.
Done, it's over. Listen, right now, the fact of the matter is the contract's in Wilder's possession, yeah. And if they got two little things, they're gonna reply.
No, that's not the fact of the matter, Idris. No, the fact of the matter is the WBA. No. The fact of the matter, the WBA is putting the pressure. WBA is the one saying 24 hours. So Joshua needs to handle the WBA. Tell him to call the WBA.
Wilder needs to sit with him and say, "Yo, listen, let's get everything
sorted." My friend, Wilder was forced. Wilder was forced to do it with the WBC.
Tell me what's holding up the contract right now being signed?
Whatever the revisions are. You know, you and I both don't know that.
What could the revision possibly be?
You and I both don't know that. If you want to speculate, be my guest.
Of course we don't know that. No, you be speculating all day. I want you to speculate. What do you think the provision of?
I would rather much rather hear your imagination at work.
Well, my imagination right now is going towards I don't know what it is. You know what I'm trying to say? But he said it's little, yeah, it's tiny little things, and he's making it sound like it's day and time and place. Like, that's not even a problem. You know what I'm trying to say? That can be arranged over a phone call. That could be one phone call.
But Idris, don't say it's not a problem. Because when Wilder sent the 50, that was the main concern. Excuse me, let me finish so that you could feel very dumb. That was the main concern on Eddie Hearn. How are we going to accept 50 without a date and venue, without TV? Did you forget that? So now if Shirley has an issue, why is that a problem? Like, yo,
let me speak.
We have to be like fair, man.
I'll tell you why that's a problem. Because right now they know that there's 24 hours. Yeah, I think Eddie
fake 24 hours. Fake 24 hours. Fake 24 hours.
Let me say in it, yeah. So they could, if they really want to know the time and the place and where it's going to be, that's one phone call away. That's not. You don't have to wait till Friday. Send the contract. Wait till Friday.
You should have said that to Eddie when he said it about the 50 mil.
No, but that's dumb. We're talking about this fight right now.
This is this fight. This is this fight.
You're being silly right now.
Oh, I'm being silly because you're picking and choosing? I'm being silly because you're picking and choosing what you want to talk about.
Till Friday. You don't have to wait till Friday for that.
You're there, Idris.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I hear you fine.
Listen. At the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is this fight right now, all it needs is a contract signed, yeah? And let me just finish quickly, yeah? And what's holding it up could be where it is and what time it is, yeah? Does it have to wait till Friday to find this deal out when you know you don't have till Friday? Now you tell me what's going on there.
Doggy, you got till after Friday, because all you got to do is the same thing the champion Deontay Wilder did and pay step-aside money. Stop making excuses.
Yeah, but
stop making excuses.
What you're doing is speculation.
How is that speculation? That's facts. Wilder paid Bermain Stavern.
Friday.
That's facts.
They're gonna send
that is facts.
Friday when they don't have to.
That is facts, brother. He paid him 600,000.
They don't have to Friday. What's that about,
dog? That's what I'm telling you. If you want past Friday, tell AJ. Listen to me, Idris.
Nothing about contract.
Idris. What I'm telling you is, if you want past Friday, tell AJ to offer some step-aside money.
You're asking too much of AJ right now. Right now, the contract is on Wilder's side. Yeah?
What's good for the goose ain't good for the gander, huh? What's good for the goose ain't good for the gander, huh?
ducking. Wilder's ducking. That's what's happening, man. He's building a legacy off AJ's name, and that's what he's trying to do, and he's failing. And that's why AJ's not vocal. The only reason AJ's not vocal, he's not giving him no time.
Because he's afraid. The reason he's not vocal is because he's afraid. The last time he says something, he got his mouth shut.
When has he ever been vocal on anybody you sport? Ever.
That's the problem, Idris. That's the problem. When he was vocal, he was made to look dumb.
No, because he's been more vocal of Wilder than anyone he's ever even fought.
He asked for an amount, and now his tail is between his legs, and you're sad.
This is what Wilder fans do. They go back to the past. They don't want to stick to the facts of right now it can be made.
Oh,
you know what I'm trying to say?
Right now it could be made. We still got 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Why do we have to wait till Friday for him to come back and say, yo, we didn't find out the time in the day, and then we know what's going on, man. They're just going to come back.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. We have to wait till Friday because the WBA is giving them 24 hours.
I don't really want to wait till Friday. Why can't they sort this out today? They don't want to. They don't want to.
Idris, do you understand that you're in a different part of the world? You know it's only 9 a.m. on the East Coast. You know what time it is on the West?
Bro, I don't know what's that got to do with Wilder ducking AJ and not signing
How
the contract.
the fuck could you answer something? Do you know that the WBA just said this morning?
Yeah, well, Wilder's a professional. Shelley Finkel's a professional. I'm pretty sure.
So they're not entitled to sleep. This is the AJ protector shit that I gotta put up with every fucking day.
Even if they wake
they're
up,
not entitled. Idris, look, I gotta go, man. I gave you like 12 fucking minutes of retardedness there. We're gonna move on to AJ. Another AJ. Jesus, go for it, AJ.
Listen, you don't really want it to happen, man.
Oh,
I don't know what's going on, but the Wilder fans,
after 12 minutes, you're gonna talk over the next caller. Come on, Idris. I gave you like 15 minutes. You're not gonna let AJ talk. Go ahead, AJ.
Yo, Ness. You saying you good?
Bro, man, you see what I got to put up with.
Bro, I'm telling you, like, just listening, I've lost the energy. I don't even know what I was going to fucking say now. Like, how come everyone's phoning up saying, it's facts, and then they're just making shit up on the spot? I don't understand what's going on here. Like, how can man not see the ball's in AJ's court? He's the A side. So if he wants to fight, he can just say to Eddie, make the fight, fuck all the silliness, or the silly little factors. If he wants this, that, and the other, make the fight. It's as simple as that. I'm done, Nez. I'm done. Serious, man.
All right, brother. I know, man. It's frustrating when they can't see the simple things in life. 303-960, 303-960. Who's this? No producer.
Yo, Ness. This is Rick in Denver. How you doing this morning?
Rick, good morning. What time is it over there?
So, fuck, I don't know. I've been at work since 5:30. It's 7.
7.
But by my call, I feel like we've been hearing Eddie talking about this Povetkin fight for at least a month before this Canelo and Triple G thing was announced and agreed upon. And I wonder, the fighters might be a little bit to blame for this stalling, but I feel like Eddie is the main guy holding this fucking pony show up. He's been giving us all these hints that Povetkin. And for all of us fans to not fucking look at the facts and understand we're not getting this year. Who in the fuck really honestly thought that was going to happen? One of these guys' careers is going to fucking end when they lose this fight. For AJ to build up a little bit of Skrilla before he gets too old or before he catches that L or whatever, it's not going to happen. And I don't know why everybody's acting so surprised. And the previous caller, the Englishman that said that Wilder's been making a career off of AJ's back. What in the fuck kind of weed are you smoking? What the fuck does that mean? I did not understand what he meant by that. I don't know if you can elaborate on his point.
Man, I don't know. I guess he means by consistently calling out AJ or talking about AJ but not fighting AJ, which makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't understand it. But, I feel like this Canelo Triple G rematch is Eddie Hearn's little excuse. Oh, well, that's why we couldn't get it in the fall. These guys coming in September aren't going to give us the money and the views that we would have had this not been happening. but he's always had the Povetkin excuse in his back pocket, and nobody fucking thinks about that. He's been telling us that for months. That's his excuse, and now he's got Canelo Triple G to run with. Now he's got the WBA. This guy has excuses falling out his fucking ass. It is insane. But yeah, that's really all I had to say this morning. Thanks for the morning call, bro. I'll see you guys later.
Thank you, Rick. Shout out to everybody in Denver for sure. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Buami, you want some of this sauce or what?
Hello.
What's up, brother? You all on speakerphone over there? Come on, you killing me.
All right, talk now. Hello.
Yeah.
All right, bro. I'm gonna just let you know now. I'm calling for the dude Idris and the boy Troy. Dude, I mean, it's sad. Roger Mayweather was right. I know he got brain problems, but most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing. Arturo Gatti was a fucking bum. He was the A-side versus Floyd Mayweather. All that shit you talking about, A-side means you win a lot of fights. No, that's not it. If that was true, Paul Spider 4 would have been the A-side in all his fights. I mean, come on, man. Zab Judah wouldn't always been the A-side versus the guys. I mean, he was the A-side versus tons of fighters that were better fighters than him, but he had a better name. That's what matters at the end of the day, your name. So all I can say is these guys are making up all these assumptions about contracts. But when let's say a Wilder fan literally says what Eddie Hearn said, oh man, you don't know what you're talking about, man. You're just Deontay Wilder's afraid to fight. What will make you think? Like that's how I know most of these dudes never been to the States. What makes you think Deontay Wilder gives a damn about losing to AJ? He doesn't care. He does, because you guys always say, "Oh, he only makes $2 million a fight." You guys worry about people money. He don't care about losing. He cares about fighting the best. So give him an opportunity to fight the best instead of just like do Idris, man. I mean, come on, bro. Like you on the phone, like nana boo boo. Like, what is your problem? It's sick. And then the boy in the UK that was just on the phone, like I can fuck with a UK fan because dude understands. Like, look, if AJ wants this fight, he can have it. At the end of the day, if y'all feel Deontay Wilder is diluted, I mean, hey, I feel like Deontay Wilder is diluted too. But to be a great champion, you have to be diluted. Muhammad Ali was diluted. Floyd Mayweather was diluted. I mean, name a great fighter that wasn't diluted. I mean, Mike Tyson was diluted. Everybody's diluted. Chris Eubank, one of y'all favorite fighters, was crazy diluted. He wouldn't have beat Michael Watson if he wasn't diluted. He'd get his ass whooped. But he knew, listen, if I get my ass whooped this time and I don't stand up and fight like a man, hey, they're gonna be able to talk about me. You gotta fight like you gotta be a soldier. Eddie Hearn and AJ, man, they paying for Instagram followers, they paying for Twitter followers. They're not that popular, and you guys are just go to this dude's Instagram, man, and they're literally saying, "Oh man, look at his abs, man." These are grown men, not women. Dudes are on his Instagram. Dudes like Idris, dudes like Troy. Man, look how buff you are. Look at those cuts, man. Like, but that's all I wanted to say. Because that's just the facts of the matter. And they need to hear how they sound. This is what we think about you guys. The dude, Troy, you don't know nothing about boxing. Idris, you're a man fan. Let's just call it how it is. But that's my call, bro.
Thank you for calling in, Buami. That was a damn good call. Had me laughing for sure. Let's see what we got here. We're gonna go out to what looks like Baltimore. 443-880. Who's this?
What's up, man? It's Tyrone.
Tyrone, what up?
What's up, man? I've been seeing this story about like what's going on with the contract and if he's gonna fight Povetkin or he's not gonna fight Povetkin. To be honest, most of these heavyweights they bums anyway. Anthony Joshua suck ass. Deontay Wilder suck ass. I mean, it's basically a hoe versus hoe. May the best hoe win. I don't really care what happens. I just want these heavyweights to go away within 2-3 years so we can get a fresh start of good heavyweights with jabs and actual skill. Because these people are just straight trash. They're bums.
That's interesting because that's how people felt about the Klitschko era. And once Klitschko was dethroned, we got excited about the heavyweight division again, and that was systematically done with Anthony Joshua. So I don't know. I mean, your opinion really is just that on this one, right? Because so many more people have been excited. I mean, they called Vladimir versus AJ the best heavyweight fight in the last decade.
How is Klitschko one of the best heavyweights to touch him up? I mean, Samuel Peter knocked him all over the floor, and James Toney.
But wait a minute. Give me a chance. Give me a chance to rebuttal. Isn't that what makes champions great? That they could come back from a loss? So because Samuel Peters knocked him down?
No.
What about the 12 years that Vladimir Klitschko had reigning?
Fighting who?
Everyone in the division.
Fighting who?
Everyone in the division.
Who was in the division?
Everyone.
Listen.
Listen.
Of the world?
Everyone.
Let's be
everyone.
real.
Everyone.
This
Everyone.
is trash.
That, I mean, that's selective.
I can fight anybody, but if the division is no good.
Yeah, but that's your opinion, bro. You can pick and choose and say any division is good or not
I'm not picking and choosing. I'm telling you what it is.
I don't see that when
Tony
AJ's
Thompson,
a gold medalist and Deontay's
Eddie
a bronze.
Chambers.
You know, I don't see that.
No, come on. You know they're bums. They don't got no type of skill at all. James Toney only had 30 fights, and he's probably one of the most underrated.
Doggy, you talking about a middleweight. You talking about a middleweight. You talking about a middleweight.
And look what he did at heavyweight. Absolutely
nothing.
What he did at heavyweight.
Absolutely nothing.
What do you mean absolutely nothing? He beat John Ruiz. He beat Samuel Peter. He basically beat Samuel Peter, but he got robbed.
Bruh, come on. You getting carried away. You was almost sounding like a good. You was almost sounding like a good caller. You getting carried away with your Evander Holyfield. Okay, Samuel Fat Peterson.
They wasn't saying that when
Stop it. Stop reading box rec. Stop reading box rec and go watch a fight. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because if you're gonna tell me Evander Holyfield, Evander Holyfield was in his fucking prime when he fought this guy, you're out of control, bro. You gotta watch the fight, not
you weren't
read
saying
it.
that after he got his ass beat. You weren't saying that after he
Bro,
got his
you
ass
the only
beat.
one
You weren't
sitting
saying
here
that after
giving
he got his
James
ass
Toney.
beat.
Doggy, you giving James Toney credit for being
James
John
Toney deserves
Ruiz.
a lot of credit.
For being John Ruiz, bro.
Ruiz.
I love you though. Listen, you see the bell rung? You see the bell rung? You see the bell rung? We still talking, you know why? Because I love you. Anytime you get excited, call like this is good.
The best will win. They're both bums.
Who's your favorite heavyweight? James Toney? I just want to know that before we go.
Nope.
Who was your favorite heavyweight?
George Foreman.
Okay, George Foreman. That's a good one.
George Foreman.
That's a good one. I can't complain. You know what I'm saying? But that's another one, right? Didn't he get knocked out? Yes. Didn't he come back? Yes. I mean, same contradiction. You know, you're being hypocritical. You talk about one guy. Excuse me. You talk about one guy. You talk about one guy, and then you big up another one.
Who did he get knocked out?
Again, selective. It's who you believe was good. It's who you believe was good. Just like you believed Evander Holyfield was fucking young when he fought James Toney. Chicago 773. Oh, put that machine gun down, daddy. 664 BX, stand up. 256 664 256 BX. Talk to me. Who's this?
This is Miller from the Bronx, man.
Miller, what up?
Yo, man. Yo, I started laughing this morning, like, cause yeah, I mean, Shorty peeped how drained I was about this shit. I heard about this WBA bullshit, which I know is some Eddie in the pocket shit. You feel me? And like Shorty was paying attention. Let me tell you this shit. Shorty was paying attention the whole time because she sit out here watch me listen to this shit, and she peeped how I felt this morning, and she was like, "This is how bitches feel when the nigga keep cheating on them." Yo, I started fucking crying, bro. Cause like she know you cheated, and yet you always got an excuse. And this is the same shit. Like we know they ducking, and they always got some shit going. Like you feel me? Some fake logical excuse. And then look at this part right here. Like we got this WBA shit. This is like after a whole relationship of cheating and you think it's not gonna be done, and this shit come like this is like a text that says "What's up" from another side bitch. You know what I mean?
I definitely agree with the analogy.
All of us feeling like we dream. That shit crazy, man. Niggas is bitches right now, man. I'm done though, dead ass, bro. I don't know what the fuck they doing.
Man, we all hoping for the best. Listen, thanks for calling in, Miller. Let me go out to the 601-462, 601-462. Talk to me.
My boy, Nez. Yo, Nez, let me tell you how I really feel about it. When I saw Deontay Wilder and Michelle Joy Phelps interview, I felt like they all in cahoots together. And I'm gonna tell you why I feel like that. When a man wanna fight you, but he tell us all that you and him having conversations about the fight, they're telling me that they ain't as what's the word I'm looking for? They buddy. You feel what I'm saying? These boys in this together. It's either Wilder want to fight, they both want to fight, or Shelly Finkel and what's his name, Eddie Hearn don't want to fight. You feel what I'm saying? Or Eddie Hearn don't want to fight. I feel like Povetkin is a situation that they trying to avoid because they're going to have to go to Russia. You feel what I'm saying? They're going to have to go to Russia to fight Povetkin. So they don't really want to fight Povetkin in Russia, so they trying to hurry up and get Deontay over there. But they don't want to come over here and fight Deontay. See, now, I don't know what to make of it no more, Ness, because I really feel like we the one getting played in the situation. We the fans. They putting us all against each other. They want to make it like shit. It's the UK versus the USA. They want to make somebody scared of the other person. I'm really just tired of that. But it's so much I want to say to you, Ness, but I can't right now because my mind's so goddamn flustered. You feel what I'm saying? Before you get out the phone with me, I want to say this right here. To all the UK folks that support AJ, I ain't got no problem with you supporting him, but don't shit on my boxer because he really wants to fight. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. When a man doing the interview and got his kids in his arm and he talking about all the fucking kids he got to take care of, that man ain't ducking shit. You hear what I'm saying? That man ain't ducking no fight. That man ain't trying to avoid no fight. You telling me if $50 million on the line that's gonna take care of 6 of this man's kids, he ain't trying to hear nothing else. But let's fight. And that's coming from a man that's from the South, like Deontay Wilder. See, I know what we have to go through. You feel what I'm saying? But Ness, I'm going to go and get out the line with you, man. I appreciate you answering my phone. I'm at work right now, Ness, so y'all hold it down. I'm gone.
I appreciate you, brother. This is a blue-collar show, man. We definitely appreciate every single one of our callers and listeners. Remember that hitting that thumbs up button in the future, present, past, it helps with the visibility of the show. It's a super duper cool way to support this show, and it's absolutely free.
It is hard to continue developing new content and covering the sport as thorough as we do without contributions from loyal listeners like you. If you enjoyed listening to the Boxing Voice Radio and find it informative and entertaining, please consider making a donation.
Let's head on out to M Stacks on Skype. Talk to me.
You hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, what's going on, Ness?
How you been, brother? Been a minute.
All right, all right. I've been on the chat, and I had a few questions for these AJ fans, man, because there's AJ fans, guys who support the man, think that
90 seconds.
Think that AJ beats Wilder, and then there's these fanboys that want to talk about resumes and money and location, and I just want to know where was AJ at? What was he talking about when Wilder was sitting ringside? What was going on? What was going on with AJ when Wilder was sitting ringside? Well, another
60
question
seconds.
is, do these fans really think that AJ beats Wilder? Do they really think that? Like, these AJ fans have all this stuff to talk about, but they never talk about Joshua actually beating Wilder. Do they really think that Joshua beats Wilder? Or are they really just trying to duck? Why is this ducking condoned is my question. I'm really confused about, I'm up here to talk boxing with boxing fans, not fanboys. The fanboys can fucking kick rocks, because anybody in this chat section, anybody hosting this show, all of y'all right now would take $50 million to fight Deontay Wilder in the United States, and I guarantee you guys would do it in 8 weeks or less. Any one of y'all. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong if I am.
I mean,
Ness, I know you're down.
Yeah, I'm down, but we all in different situations than AJ, man. AJ's got a bunch of $20 million paydays already stashed away in the bank.
Well, who turns down 50 to make 20?
Yeah, but you're gonna make 20. You're gonna make 20
minimum, right?
You're gonna make 20 a bunch of times. You know what I'm saying? He can make 20 with Povetkin, 20 with Dylan White, 20 with a Joseph Parker rematch. I mean, it's out there, man. The money's out there.
You know what? And you know what? You are absolutely right, Ness. And if these AJ fans actually thought that AJ beats Wilder, it would be no problem to pick up another 50 on top of those 20s you're talking about. But they don't think he beats Wilder, and that's the truth. This M Stacks. I'm just wanting to voice my opinion.
You already know. Voice of the People hotline, M Stacks. Thanks for doing it right here. We're going out to the 409828. 409828. Who's this? TBV in the morning.
Yeah, it's JD, man.
Oh shit, JD, what up?
I like to, what up? I'm gonna be real brief as usual, man, because I'm out here working. But I gave up on this fight a long time ago when I originally saw the bullshit. And but there's a saying that says that when people show you who they are, believe them. And Eddie Hearn been showed me that he was not so much full of shit. He been telling y'all a long time ago that he wanted to make the fight bigger. He said that a long time ago. So the rest of the shit was just irrelevant to me. I've been not caring about this fight because I know it's not gonna happen because he wants to make it this super fight. He's trying to do this Pacquiao Mayweather bullshit when this is the wrong weight class to do that in, because that shit could have easily been ruined last fight with King Kong and Wilder. Povetkin can easily land a punch on Joshua that can fuck up their whole plan. So I just feel like this is the wrong weight class to play the waiting game, the marination game. No, you throw this meat on the pit and you cook this shit. Fuck all that marination shit. But, that's all I got, man. Eddie Hearn, he's not completely full of shit, but at the same time, he is. But, I mean, just tell it like it is. You know what I'm saying? Just tell it like he was at first. You want to make it a super fight. All the rest of that shit is irrelevant. But that's all I got.
More like he want to make that super bank before he get into that fight. 4112 478 4112 478. Who's this? First time caller?
Ness is giving quality from the chat. What's good, bro?
What up?
You already know I had to call in with my disgust for this topic. Now, I missed the earlier part. Just run this back. You try to tell me there's only 24 hours on the deadline?
According to Mr. Mendoza from the WBA, he's given Anthony Joshua's team 24 hours to sign for a deal with Povetkin.
Can you go on the full court press, call his ass, and call Eddie, and get AJ's number from Deontay, and let's get some real. get some, you know, the last minute finale, because you know what they're gonna do, man. They're gonna make every excuse in the world, say they tried to make it, but no matter what, the media's gonna go with Deontay's fault.
Yeah, I mean,
we
it's
need
going to be all
somebody
part
like-
of the plan, I guess.
Exactly. That's why we need somebody in the media to go press these people on this deadline period. Try to get that interview, bro. We need it.
Hey, I will do my best, but you know AJ ain't doing nothing no time soon, especially not after he done fucked up in the media once and that 50 million became real for him. But thanks for calling in, my friend. This has been another spontaneous show, TBV in the morning. We're doing morning shows every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. for your commute privileges or preferences or whatever good, cool word, all right? I'm doing morning shows every freaking morning, especially if the topics are hot. We might end up doing way more than just another because we got a few hot button topics. They're just popping up, man. A lot of things happening. We got undercard announcements for various fights, some things to talk about. So don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that notification bell. Remember, one of the most coolest, super duper duper best ways to support the show is to drop us a 5-star review on iTunes. It costs you absolutely nothing, helps with the visibility of the show. Second way, hit that thumbs up button, future, present, past. Also helps with the visibility of the show. Lets us know around here what sort of content you're interested in, what it is that you guys want to see. Thirdly, heading on over to theboxingvoice.com/affiliate sponsors page where we have various free ways to endorse or support the YouTube channel. Like if you're doing any Amazon shopping, you use our hyperlink and we get a kickback. It costs you absolutely nothing, but you're helping out your favorite podcast. And last but not least, you can head on over to patreon.com/theboxingvoice for tons of exclusive content and perks. We have ringers, boomerangs, shirts that are exclusive to Patreon only, different podcasts that we're going to be spicing it up, in the words of my Brazilian shorty. We're going to be spicing things up pretty soon. We got a couple of new guys we're bringing on. Got a new Las Vegas guy. We had a good meeting out in Vegas. Met Daniel Alvarez, going to be one of our new Mexican correspondents. Aaron Cantu, also one of our Mexican correspondents, has made the transition to Texas. So we'll be seeing more from him over there in the old Earl Spence camp. So definitely tune in, man. Stick around. Big things coming. TBV, hashtag TBV podcast, wherever hashtags are used. I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs, Instagram and Twitter. Final thoughts. Say it ain't so. I need the A side to pay the step aside money. That's what we always ask A sides to do. Peace.